Hello people, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today the topic I'll be talking about is An Apology for Poetry, which is written by Sir Philip Sidney. An Apology for Poetry is also known as The Defense of Poesy, which is written by Elizabethan poet, scholar, soldier, diplomat and critic Sir Philip Sidney. The life duration of Sir Philip Sidney is from 1554 to 1586. So, first of all, let us know about literary criticism. What is literary criticism? Literary criticism means literary studies. In other words, we can say it refers to the study, evaluation, and interpretation of literature. The time of composition of the essay is most probably late 1579 or late 1580, but according to the most critics, it was written in 1580. The published date of the essay is that posthumously it was first published in 1595. Sidney's reputation as a literary writer rests upon his major three works, which are Astrophel and Stella, that is a sonnet sequence. Second one is Arcadia, it is a prose. The third one is An Apology for Poetry, it is a literary criticism. Sidney wrote his literary essay in reaction to Stephen Gosson's The School of Abuse, that was written in 1579 and dedicated to Sidney. Stephen Gosson, in his The School of Abuse, complains against the poets and poetry and also against contemporary drama. Sidney never mentions Stephen Gosson's name in his essay, who was a Puritan. The major objections of Stephen Gosson against poetry was: poetry is the waste of time. Poetry is the mother of lies. It is nurse of abuse. Plato has rightly banished the poets from his ideal state or commonwealth. So these four are the four objections against poetry given by Stephen Gosson in his The School of Abuse. The major divisions of Sidney's An Apology for Poetry. The essay falls into three major divisions. The divisions are pointed out here in short. In the first division, Sidney offers general defense of poetry as the earliest form of literature. Poetry is an imitation of nature and yet transcending nature. Poetry contributes better than philosophy or history to the end of all teaching. In the second division, we get the following. Sidney answers the various objections which had been brought against poetry. Sidney classifies poetry such as pastoral, elegiac, comic, satiric, tragic, lyric, and heroic. Sidney asserts that poetry is the most fruitful store or repository of knowledge. The third part exposes the critical conception of Sidney as to poetry and drama. Sidney examines the state of English poetry and drama. He expresses his disappointment what had been written and was being written in the spheres of poetry as well as drama. He censures the comedy of the time for confusing delight with laughter. In the conclusion part, Sidney has proved that by nature, poetry imitates and its functions to teach and delight. He shows that pastoral poetry treats evils of tyranny and beauty of simple life. The elegiac moves rather pity than blame. The bitter iambic rubs the galled minds. The comic imitates the common error of our lives and wants a great foil to perceive the beauty of virtue. I think Sir Philip Sidney is the father of English criticism, just as Chaucer is the father of English poetry. Dr. Johnson's dictum that Dryden is the father of English criticism seems unacceptable. Dryden came later and drew his inspiration from the English critical tradition established by Sidney. Dryden is very important critic, no doubt, but to be just to him, we need to be unjust to Sidney. In a sense of Sidney also was living in the time which may be termed as Mishti, and like Chaucer he too could see no more clearly than his contemporaries. So this is the end of the video. Thank you for watching this video. Stay tuned. If you are new to this channel, then do like, share and subscribe.